Good morning, everyone. Welcome to American Scousers Morning Coffee or Tea with American Scouser. It's Friday. Kermit is in the house. It's good to be green. It's TGIFF over here. As always, Kazi, huge fan of Nat Phillips, and covering Thiago's head with his big head is with us. What's going on, Kazi? Oh, there you go. If you do that, it looks like, he's old.
It looks like he's tapping me on the head going, it's all going to be okay. That's how I feel when Nat plays. He just puts like a big couple of arms around me and I just feel held. I know he's not going to lose a header.
I like how he's like grabbing his head like a basketball player grabbing a basketball. He's going to dunk with Thiago or something like that.
Thiago is longingly looking at him going, this is the best centre-back I've ever played with. And I'm a big fan of that.
We just covered this. I think he was looking at him saying, thank God you're in the squad. Otherwise, I was going to play center back next, thanks to Klopp. We'll get to that. And you're becoming a citizen today.
I became a citizen last week.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was this Friday.
No, last Friday. I am now officially. Look, I've got the flag and shit.
Is that what they give you? The parting gift is a flag?
Yeah. I feel like
you know what you're signing up for.
For our boxing fans out there, Don King. I feel like Don King. Woo!
And with us, as always, now referring himself in the third person on the Discord chat, is Alex. Oh, that made me laugh this morning when, I saw it and I thought it was odd. And then Kazi pointed it out that you referred to yourself in the third person, so it was hilarious. And yes, Sparky just became his last October. I'll be there eventually. I just been too lazy, to be fair. I could have probably been there I think almost 10 years ago, just freaking lazy.
How long have you been in the US for, too?
I've been in the US longer than I've been in Turkey, so let's put it that way.
You're still not a citizen?
28 years. I could have been a US citizen 3 times. And still passed on the opportunity, but I will become one eventually because somebody's gonna fix it. Once they told me I can't be president, I was like, damn it, then there's no point. Exactly. What's going on, Alex?
Nothing much. Just glad it's Friday and a long weekend. So
it is a long weekend. That's right. I didn't even think of that because I'm not a citizen. See, I don't think of these things right away. Okay, couple of headlines to get to, and obviously we got, goddamn, man, everybody has converted except me. Alan got his in 2021. If anything, I should be the first guy to get it, getting out of Turkey. I don't know why you guys are in such a rush. Okay, let's get to over here. Kazi is just getting it so he can go in and out to Mexico a lot easier. Let's face it. Right? Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
I knew it. Okay. So Tony, we were talking about this a little bit in the morning in the Discord chats. Now that we find out more about this, is it just me that thinks the cost these days? Well, it looks like I'm waiting another 28 years if I'm not forking out $1,200 to become a citizen. Okay. Is it just me that as I read more about this, 8 months is nothing in terms of what he got? And how is that a deterrent? How is somebody over there making a bet right now looks at the Tony news? He's like, oh, this dude got 8 months for betting on his own team and enter bets kind of a thing. Kazi.
I mean, we need to listen. It doesn't look good. Now, the one thing I would say though, and this is important though, he didn't bet when he was playing. That is important to say. So it's not like he's missed a pen on purpose for his team to lose. And that's all I'm saying.
You're just giving him partial credit. I mean, that's...
Listen, he's completely wrong. What he's done is horrific that you can bet on your own team to lose. But I think it is important to say he wasn't playing. He wasn't purposely missing chances. And he wasn't purposely, you know what I mean, affecting the team to lose. So that is important to state. It's not great. And I don't know what team he was on at the time. It could have been Brentford. I'm not sure. When he was doing these bets.
I think it is Brentford. But here's my thing, though. I don't know the specific instances because I don't think it has come out yet. Is it a game where he's betting against this team where he was in doubt? We don't know if he's going to be ready kind of thing? Or is he out for 8 months and he's killing time in the training room next to Keita placing bets?
Oh, is it one of them where he found out on the Friday he knew he wasn't playing?
Yeah. And he's like, I'm out, so we're losing.
And I went to bet, yeah, because I'm backing myself basically to win. There's also that. It reminds me of that famous Kobe Bryant picture when he first won the championship and he's sitting there in the shower like this. And I just remember when like Brentford got promoted and Tony's sitting there like going, I had a bet on this. Do you know, like he's there with the trophy and he's just standing there going, fuck's sake. But I mean, it doesn't look good. But again, he wasn't involved in the games. 8 months. Listen, if the guy's got a problem, it is a massive issue in the UK, the football gambling especially, and it has to raise light on this. If he was involved in the games, it should be a hell of a lot longer. A hell of a lot longer. It should have been a couple of, because that's match fixing now. You are in the stage of match.
But this is still match fixing, I think. You know, Mateusz says, but he has influence in training, insider info about team, etc. The insider info, especially, like if they're talking, so and so is out, he can't play more than 30 minutes. He knows shit inside that others won't. Alex, back me up on this, or maybe the other Alex you're going to talk about, but somebody got to back me up on this.
I think it's in the same category. I think it's just as bad. Remember when Kieran Trippier did it? What was it? 2018 before his Atletico Madrid move, and he told his brother to bet on him to go to Atletico Madrid. Yeah. I think it's in the same category as that. It's just as bad. Like he has that inside information. He knows he's not going to play. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't look good. Yeah, I guess I can agree that, you know, if he was involved with the game, yeah, that'd be match fixing and more serious. But I think it's just as bad. He's got to get some things under control first before he comes back. And to be honest with you, I agree with you too. 8 months doesn't seem like a whole lot, considering, you know, 3 of the 8 months he's not. There's really not any games going on for him to play. So it's kind of like, all right, I get an 8 month vacation to do whatever I want, kind of thing. That's basically what it is.
I want to follow on what Alex just said, though, Tim. I think the Kieran Trippier one is worse because that's a guarantee. Your team could still win the football match.
That's true.
Your team could still win the football match. Let's get that right. That was I am going.
Okay, let's also get this right. He didn't bet just once. This dude is constantly.
It was 13 times. It was 13 times he bet on his team to lose out of all the bets. Now, and that's the ones that they found.
I mean, dude, that's a lot.
Of course it is. Yeah. Listen, I'm not.
First of all, if I'm in that locker room and I was like, "Hey, asshole, you were betting on us to lose,"
I look at it as like, yeah, and I think that's the worst part. It depends what, you know. If your teammate is still there at the time and you're still teammates with him at Brentford, you go, oh, fucking hell, cheers, pal. Like, thanks for the fucking vote of confidence. You know what I mean? But I think it's more, you know, yeah, it's for me. I think 8 months is fine. Like, it's a fair, and for the couple of reasons here. Number one, he would have got picked for England in these Euro qualifiers, so he's not probably going to play for England probably for a couple of years. Number two, he can't train. He's not allowed at the training ground. So it's not like he's like an injured player who can go in every day still and still sit around and talk. He can't go in. I feel like it. And again, if he was involved in the games, I'm all for a couple of years because you are match fixing. But I think the Kieran Trippier one's well worse. That's only his decision who can affect that outcome. It's Trippier. He's asking us, how much money do you earn, pal, that you still want to put a bet on?
Okay, wait a second now. You're saying he can't train. This is not like you getting kicked out of your lifetime membership because you were walking around naked in the thing, you know, like, I know this has happened, but you jumped on this theory, so this must have happened. But, you know, I mean, it's not like that. Tony's going to hire like 3 guys, going to be like, you watch my calves, you watch my, and then he's going to train, you know.
I get that.
I think something like this, right? Premier League, like you're saying, this is an issue. You want to get this problem. I mean, something like this, a high-profile player is doing it. I would think you want to nip it in the butt and say, you know what? We're not going to take this shit. Don't even think about it. So any player who is on their app right now reading the news, the ban should make him drop that phone and say, oh, fuck no, because they're not messing around with this. So FA started asking for 15 months to start with, and then they gave 11 months. And then because of the addiction, an expert came in and said, this guy is addicted to gambling, which I am not undermining the whole addiction thing, but it seems like such an easy cop-out to me that anything else. I mean, okay, I'm addicted to coffee then, morning coffee show. He says, I don't know, I would think, like, and he's 27, and he's a national team. Is this guy going to ever play for the national team? Alex?
Nope.
Does he play?
Nope. I think he kind of. I think this whole thing is ruined his chances, to be honest with you. Because I
So
don't
how
know.
are you gonna say no? Because you basically gave a punishment. This is almost like you got a red card, 5 games suspended. You're back. You're back in the
Yeah,
national team.
but I think it also I think it was Matoush. I don't know who brought it up in the comments, but um, it really will affect whatever team he's on chemistry wise, because everybody's going to know this. And the biggest thing is trust. And if you lose trust with your teammates and you lose trust with your coaches, which is essentially what he's doing by betting on his team to lose, it's really hard to come by. And with the national team, they don't get to play a whole lot. And if players can't trust him, I just can't see him getting selected. It's sad because I'm a big Ivan Toney fan, but I think he's kind of shot himself in the foot to ever really represent England in a competitive state. Because what is he 28 now? So
27, so he'll be 28. Yeah.
okay. So probably, I mean, and that's just this is just like we said, this is just the small little tidbit that we're getting. There could be more as this investigation goes along. This is just the tip of the iceberg. It could be more. So I essentially think he kind of shot himself in the foot trying to represent England ever. So
see, I don't know, because I mean, while I'm saying the ban should have been a lot more, once the ban is done, I don't think it's fair to not call them up.
Let's get it right. Ivan Toney's England's second best striker.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all football care about is winning football matches.
mm-hmm.
We've had Eric Cantona, karate kicker player, came back, won the league, he's idolised. We've had Luis Suarez in a Liverpool shirt, racially abused someone, done his span, came back, nearly won us the league, we idolise him. So let's yes, he's done something bad, it's wrong, but in the British culture, gambling is like a very much more, everyone kind of has a bet kind of thing. He will play in the Euros, like in the next competition, all day. Let's not argue with you. If he signed for Liverpool next season, everyone will be going fucking great. Ivan Toney's coming to Liverpool. We all would be. We all.
Oh, as a player, definitely. But would other players, you think, be like?
Because you want to win football matches. You go out and score. Everyone says this, Everyone always goes, like for example, I can't stand Bruno Fernandes. I know you guys can't, right? If he signs for Liverpool and goes and gets me fucking 18 assists, fella, I'll have a fucking banner on the cop for him. It just is what it is. Football's about winning football matches. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's a horrible day.
But I think that's different. That's like you're taking a player that is actually a good player, aside from all his whining, taking from a rival, putting in our own team. This is more like a character thing. I know if you're playing one game, you're like, yeah, let's get Toney. Like a player saying, yeah, let's get him in here. But would other players be like, as Marcus says, all players bets, which might be correct, which I'm sure in one form or other correct. But betting on your own team to go down is like, Mateusz says the Premier League really wants to take a stand. They need to get rid of all betting company sponsorships as well. That ain't going to happen. The biggest step they took, what was that, 2026? You can't have it on the jersey anymore. That's the big step.
And this is, again, going back to like Cantona and Suarez and stuff, they had Benjamin Mendy playing when they knew what was going on. Because all he cared about was winning football matches. Adam Johnson played. And all he cared about is winning football matches. Football club is a horrible and dirty places. And anyone will take anyone if you can help me win a football match. It's horrible to say. But like, again, Benjamin Mendy played, fella. Fucking hell. He had more charges than I don't know what. Do you know what I mean? And the club knew. The club knew. He won the league titles for the club off Liverpool playing left back. Do you know what I mean? The club knew. Thomas Partey right now, we all know what's going on there with Arsenal. And everyone's like, oh, we fucking know what a player he is. And you're like, yeah, what a scumbag he is as well. It just is what it is. It's
I'm going to put you guys on the spot. By the way, Ryan says, I'm betting on Gally to be half drunk on Monday night show. That's a sucker bet that nobody's going to take, by the way, Ryan. So. Nobody's falling for that crap. So you're in charge. I'll start with you, Alex. What is the ban that you would have given on Toney, knowing what we know so far? And like you're saying, there's probably going to be more coming out. But what we know so far, what would you give? You're in charge.
I mean, I think Well, actually, it was reduced a couple times, right?
Yeah,
First
it was.
15.
Don't worry about it. You're in charge now. There's no reductions. You're making the call. They're like in the third person. You're like, Alex says this, and then
I would have
tell me that.
said probably at least 12 months. I think 12 months probably.
Man, you guys are just fucking. If I ever get in trouble, I want you guys making the fucking call. That's for sure.
I think 8 is harsh.
What? Oh, come on. I mean, that's not a detail. I mean, isn't okay? What is the goal of the ban? So that it doesn't happen again, ideally, right?
Of course.
Okay, so then if I'm I mean, this dude is 27, and it probably hurts him more. If you're like a 24-year-old, what's the worst case scenario? You're gonna lose half a season. Like, why not do it? How does it a deterrent?
I think they've got the ban wrong. I think you say you do 8 months, you should have been like 3 months unpaid, and we're going to donate it to charities or something. He's still getting paid. So that's what I think they went wrong there. You hear the way you hurt anyone. The way you hurt anyone, 90% of the people in the whole world, you hurt them in the pocket, including a professional footballer, by the way. You can still hurt them in the pocket. So you know what I mean? Listen, he's had a bet. Yes, he's bet on his club to lose. Again, we don't know the full details of this. We don't know when he's had the bet. It could have been an in-play bet when his team's 2-0 down. We have no idea what the bets were. I'm not saying
it's an addict, I guess. You never know. But
that's a character, though, innit? That's a character, flaw. We don't know what they are. We need to know more information. I think 8 months. Trust me. I think that's
so fair. You're giving 8 months? You would have given 8 months?
Oh, yeah, probably, yeah. Well, yeah, Christmas
wow. Okay, there's a bunch of people listening right now. So throw it in the comments what your ban would be. I would really like to know. Am I the only asshole in the house? Possible. But because I would have done I would have said 2 years.
I'm going to go, Tim. 2 years for the lad having a few bets, right? Hear me out.
A few bets?
Oh, yeah, he's had a course over the space of time, right? 2 years. We're getting racists, getting 10 games.
Well, I'm not agreeing with that either. I'm just saying 2 years because if there's another player even thinking about it, that will be a slap in the face and say, hell no, I'm not.
Well, again, but then you've got, Tony's argument would be going, well, I've got these racists and we've got these arseholes.
Yeah, I mean, that's the sad
after 10 games getting fucking coming back and we are John Terry let them put Champions League trophies. What are we doing? It's harder, like you set the precedent and you go, right, racists are 5 years, 10 years, whatever that is, are just completely kicked out. It's what we would all like, is just to kick them out altogether. And then a young man at the time, I think it was 2018, these bets were when he was 23, something like that, 22, 23. He's a young man with a problem. I think, 8 months, 2 years. I think it's harsh, man, brutal. But
hey, that's the only way they will learn, Kazi. That is the only way they will learn.
What can you do, man? What can you do?
Ryan says full season. Sparky says 6 months.
Yeah.
Serzi is like, if he genuinely has a mental issue with this, he needs FA to help him. I don't know. I mean, like I say, I don't want to undermine it. I realize, there's an addiction that goes with this and stuff like that. It is serious. Having said that, I'm just not buying it as an excuse overall, because then everybody's going to use it as an excuse. So you don't want to open that door. Did they reduce? I mean, reducing it, I'll give you 18 months, reduce from that or something like that. But Ryan says, make him spend 2 seasons in MLS. I think that's a good punishment.
For all the teams, right, in a big fucking FA, when you do the FA Cup draw, and go, who are you going to play for? Fantastic.
I think that's good. I think that is a great punishment.
I'm going to Minnesota. Yeah, go on, Tony, later, mate. It's
or even worse, make him watch Major League Soccer for 2 seasons. You're gonna watch every goddamn game, sit in this room and watch it, damn it. Like
when he runs out for Portland and he sees a guy cutting trees on the sideline. What the fuck is going on here?
Oh man. Yeah, that is interesting. This is we're gonna have to make a poll on this. But let's get to the next topic on hand over here. So this game yesterday, and I was like, the moment I saw it, I was like, "Ooh, definitely did not want to do that. No one wants that." Okay, let's do this. Okay, so most tweets, it was brought up in the press conference earlier this morning too. I don't know if anybody has seen the tweet. If not, you haven't seen the tweet by now. It's talking about he's being totally devastated. It's kind of like no excuse for this. Had everything we needed to make the Champions League. We failed and stuff. Alex, what was your initial reaction when you saw the tweet?
Well, what I say in Discord chat, this is not something we get from Salah on social media all the time. That usually when he posts something like this, it doesn't come by a whole lot. So, but when I first saw it, you know, the first thing when I was reading it, I was like, you know, that's captain material right there. That's somebody that understands what the club wants. He understands the culture. He understands what the fans want, and he knows he let everybody down in some way, and he wanted to apologize for it because he could have easily done this, say tomorrow after the game. He could have said this on Monday. He said it right after United won the game, and I think that means a lot to a lot of people. To me, it meant a lot. It meant a lot to me that he actually addressed the fans in this way, which is nice. Which to me, that's what I want to see from my players is a reaction like this. That's what I want to see, and that's why I say it's almost captain like he's putting all the weight on his shoulders for not making the Champions League, which they know they should have.
Yeah, I almost envision them like watching the game and be like, "God damn, Chelsea is bad," and then just like tweeting, "These fuckers are never gonna score," and then he's just and he's tweeting them. That's what I envision them doing. But what do you think, Kazi? Or what did you think when you first saw it? Initial reaction?
First of all, I'm not a fan of football players apologising. We know what we sign up for. We're football fans, right? And especially a player like him, he has nothing to apologise for, by the way. Nothing. His level hasn't dropped. He's the fucking one. He's the one standout, him and Alisson. He's been our best outfield player this season. So he has nothing to apologise for. I think the other thing is like, the one thing I want in my life is a pissed off Mo Salah. So if you want to be pissed off, exactly, you know what I mean? But compared off the reaction thing, and I understand that, again, Mo doesn't need to apologise. He's going to look and go, my numbers are fine. My numbers are fine. It's, you know what I mean? There's other stuff going on around the club, but as long as he can only affect his performance, and his numbers are good. So that's how he should look at it. If he wants to come out and say that, that's fine. You know, by the way, I'm a big fan of the black and white picture. I thought he had died at first when he thought, I was like, Jesus Christ, no, what the fuck, black and white? It feels like a day he's died. I'm not playing in the Champions League 1 year.
I thought it was a nice touch, though. It set the mood, you know. Instead of
set the tone.
Yeah, it really set the mood for a depressive. And that's the part I didn't like. I'm all for, you know, hearing from him saying, yeah, this fucking blows. Basically, in a paragraph, he could have just said this, but at the same time, I don't know. It felt over the top negative. So here is the sentence that I did not understand, and I'm too lazy to look at all the other players. But did somebody put an uplifting or optimistic post that he's saying, "I'm sorry, but it's too soon for an uplifting or optimistic post"?
I think he's setting the boundaries with the players to say, don't do that.
I don't want to see the shit.
Hey, we go again next season and stuff. I don't want to fucking hear it right now, lads. I need a holiday. I need to get away from you all. Do you know what I mean? I want that fucking Costas to leave me alone for a couple of months. Like, just fuck off. And I'm a big fan of that. I'm a big fan of Mo going. If I see someone going, "Oh, lads, disappointing season, but we go again next year," YNWA. He's going to be like, "Oh, fuck off." Which I'm a big fan of.
See?
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, Alex, would you rather see that finished with that? Or, you know what? This sucks.
No.
That, like, the rest goes without saying. I think I agree. Like, I don't want to, it's like we go again and stuff, because that's not going to mean anything. I think this shows a player, if anything, my concern is a little bit over the top depressed about it. But knowing Mo, who sets like ridiculous goals for him before the seasons and stuff like that, like numbers and stuff. He's really like picky and specific about certain things. Because it was him, I was not as worried. I think I would have been more worried if it came from Diaz or Nunez or somebody like that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Mo has a lot of, you know, self-drive that he wouldn't bum himself down so much that he wouldn't perform.
Well, see, the thing is, I think the post, to me, it makes sense. And you know it's genuinely coming from Mo, because we watched Mo play. Every chance he misses, he's like hating himself. And that's just kind of the way he is. Like, he's like, man, I should have done better. Man, I should have put that away. Man, that's another chance gone. And you see, he's just kind of like, he'll do the thing where he kind of like throws his arms around and kind of like gets mad at himself, or he looks down for a second, knows he can do better. So I think the post if anything, really reflects his personality, because that's the personality I see when he plays. Is, if he misses and he knows he keeps missing, he's kind of hard on himself, which is fine and is what you want to see. And I think this is just a reflection of his personality. He's just being hard on himself and his teammates.
So Klopp said, we all think like that. This is not the season we wanted. I like this part. The big disappointment is this little thing, the Europa League. And if you're like in charge of the Europa League, you're like, bro, what the fuch? Like everybody's talking shit about it.
That's been taken out of context a little bit, because he did say in that line, if we finish fourth, it'll be fine. He said, but because it's just one place, it's a big deal. He said, so the big disappointment is the little thing.
Oh, okay. Because the little thing, Europa League, I was like, wait, what?
He meant the one space, to be fair. That is taken out of context a little bit.
Because I'm in the Europa League. We're like, come on, man.
Give me a
it would have been a normal season if we finished fourth. Not great, but qualified. So it sounds almost like that is our bare minimum is top four, which is fair, and it should be. You're not going to win the title every year. But I mean, you look at Salah's stance and look at Klopp's stance. And Klopp, I mean, obviously, it's a personality thing, and he's the leader. He's going to make more like, we'll do our best over here now. We'll get back to it. One thing that did come up was about player recruitment, Kazi, where he said, it shouldn't, but you never know. Sometimes players we want, their clubs don't want to let them go. Do you see any cryptic messages in that, or is just like, just it's a matter of fact, he's just speaking?
Yeah, I just think it's a matter of fact. I think in terms of the Liverpool recruitment thing, it's interesting because he did mention that he likes his players in for pre-season, but he doesn't think he's going to get that, which I find interesting. Because again, we talked about it last night on the Thursday show. Liverpool have a really big issue with the homegrown players. We have a very select few players who we can sign, and if we are going to sign Adrian to a new deal, which looks very likely, then it's going to be homegrown players. If he's losing out on Bellingham, if he's losing out on Mount, potentially, you're starting to fucking scrape the barrel again. You're starting to look and go, well, unfortunately, Tim, disgustingly, I'm going to say this as well, is there a spot for Tyler Morton? Because you're going to get to that horrible stage where you're like, oh, actually, we can only sign about 5 players.
Yeah.
And because we have let Milner go and Oxlade-Chamberlain and, you know what I mean? This is a thing that Liverpool fans really need to get in their head. So when you see links with Barella and stuff like that, they all don't make sense to me. They all just do not make sense. I look around the Scottish and English and Irish sides, no one really good. There's no one good who you'd go, yeah, I'd like to take him. It's only England that you can see a Conor Gallagher movement, maybe. But in terms of, I mean, the recruitment is a big thing. He did mention it. He said, I want them all signed tomorrow, which is what his line was. I want them all signed tomorrow, but I don't get to choose that. I.e., I want my lads. I want to know who I'm going forward with. But he said, I need the pre-season to take a look. And we mentioned it last night. This is Liverpool's biggest pre-season in 5 years, 6 years. We have a new formation.
Yeah, you expect a lot of changes, don't you? Exactly, yeah.
It's a brand new squad, basically. If Liverpool don't sign 5-6 players, first team, 18 players, out the 18, 6 players in the summer, which we expect Liverpool to do, 5 to 6 at least. So this is Liverpool's biggest pre-season, I think, for years.
He was also asked about Carvalho, and this is like vintage Klopp saying 2 reverse things within like 3 sentences over here. Is like, could go on loan, but we will see. And then he says, no player has impressed me more than Fabio, which is news to Fabio, probably himself as well, because he's not seeing the field at all. I mean, I think overall he's more that for a young kid, he's not pouting and he keeps working and stuff like that. We want to keep them if we can give them the opportunity to play. Connor Bradley is coming back. He was in the building yesterday. We have big hopes for him. In terms of context, they were asking a bunch of questions about young players and stuff like that. So this is kind of like partially go with that. Alex, make a call over here. Is Carvalho going out on loan next year, or with this preseason and everything, we kind of find a spot for him, or he improves in a way where he earns a spot?
Well, Klopp kind of sounded like me there.
Except he didn't say Klopp says Klopp is very impressed with his work ethic.
Yeah, he sounded like me there. So, I think. See, the thing is like, I think he goes on loan, and this is the reason why I think he goes on loan. realistically, I think he probably plays off the wing behind. Like he comes in for Salah, but the way he's been using Harvey is he's been putting him more forward. So you kind of think he's gonna be like the backup for Salah on sometimes just to get Salah off the field if we're up whatever it is 3-0, 3-1. But I feel like he needs more time to adjust to the Premier League. So maybe loaning him to somebody like a Crystal Palace or maybe like a Wolves, just to give him some time, because I think that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest issue with him. He hasn't had a lot of time in the Liverpool team, in my opinion, for the Premier League, and I think he just needs to find whatever his craft might be at wherever it is, because he just does not have the time to implement whatever position, whatever he wants to play in Liverpool, and I think that's the biggest issue. Because I'm a lot like you. I have no idea what position what he is. Is he a winger? Is he a false number 9? Is he a midfield? I don't know, and I don't think a lot of other people know exactly either.
I think we hoped he would be the new Bobby, but we've seen that he does not have the physical strength to be that Bobby and hold the ball the same way Bobby would. I mean, Bobby's not a huge number 9, but the dude has a lot of strengths, lower center of gravity. He can really do hold-up play as well. And I think he's better on the ball. Like, his first touch is better. So, and I think if you're going to play that false 9 and stuff, that's very important. Your first touch on ball control is like a huge thing. Kazi, what is your prediction with this off season? I mean, that's the thing about this off season, right? There's so many unknowns, and I think this is one of them.
Yeah, I think right now Liverpool keep Carvalho just because he counts as homegrown. And it's mad. I know because that's the stage you're getting into. That's why when you've seen kind of Costas upset on the last game of the season, that he knows he might be on the fucking chopping block, because there's got to be sacrifices, unfortunately. And lad, we need some British players in. I know, again, it feels mad. It feels like I voted for Brexit. I never. But Jesus Christ, it's fucking hell. Like, I look at Carvalho, for example. If Liverpool are in the Europa League, if Liverpool go to the final of all 3 cup competitions, it's 26 games that is next year. Carvalho, Kelleher. That's where Kelleher gets his games, by the way. Kelleher will play every cup competition, in my opinion. And he'll play the finals of every cup competition. I think last year when Alisson played in the FA Cup, I think they knew they were kind of onto something, that they could do this quadruple. I think that's the only reason why Alisson was in the final. I think they kind of we can't take a chance. This is history kind of thing. It's never been done. Otherwise, Kelleher would have played the final. So I think that's where, that again, we'll go back to Tyler Morton and stuff like that and Conor Bradley. If I don't know. Again, mentioned it last night. If they were standing in front of me, I couldn't tell you who they were. I have no idea. Especially on Conor Bradley, I have no idea what he even looks like. He's just a little blonde kid. So there's 26 games potentially next year. So I think I can see Carvalho sticking around just because he's homegrown. And also, if we don't get the signings that we need, if Liverpool get the signings that we need, he may go out on the last couple of days of the window. He might go, okay, we can afford to do him now.
Yeah.
But there's no way he's leaving in the next couple of weeks. Not a chance until Liverpool get their signings.
Yeah.
Well, you will be impressed. So I'm going to ask you this question over here. Do we keep Phillips now?
No.
The best? No. Yeah, I don't. I mean, even being English, because I think he's one of the few guys that you can get actual money for who's English.
Yeah. Get 10 million quid for him. Bournemouth will buy him back for 10 million quid. Bournemouth can't keep clean sheets anyway. He got them promoted by keeping clean sheets. Do you know what I mean? And I feel so harsh for him. And I think it's right now, it's like, hey, I need to fucking go now, Jürgen. I'm sorry. You get your house in order, fella. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've had enough of being your 5th choice and backups because you keep playing Gomez and Matip, who have the injury issues. Do you know what I mean? Like, you get your fucking house in order. Yeah. So, I've got, this is my time. I've done you a favour. Couple of good favours by sticking around when I could have been an arsehole, and he hasn't. So, I think it's time for...
Yeah, Mateo says should have cashed in on that. Or I think, the moment we qualify for Champions League, we should have, like, at the end, set it up like a lemonade stand and sold both Williams and Nat Phillips right then by the cup on a lemonade stand and be like, who needs a center back? Yeah. And then should have sold them knowing they don't really fit the system overall and they were playing because we were desperate. And as Thiago's face shows over there, I mean, they were our only hope of like stop playing freaking midfielders at center back and
Right.
attackers as midfield and whatever the hell club was doing.
When you look at the league now, though, Tim, right? I look at Nat Phillips, for example, and I look down the league. Is Nat Phillips, is Ben Mee better than Nat Phillips?
Oh, he can. I think he will play. I don't think he's a bad center back or a bad player. I think he's just not the player for the system.
He's
That's
just
the
not
only thing. I think he will do, like if he went to Burnley or something like that, he would be the guy that would be like, God damn it, he's everywhere, stopping everything. He'll be, like sliding on the goal line and driving us nuts when we're playing against him. He'll be that guy.
Yeah.
But for us, I just don't think he fits the
Another reason as well why I love him as well, he's with Liam Gallagher's daughter, which is also fantastic on Twitter. So he's actually with Liam Gallagher's daughter. So anytime he tweets about City, it's just all Liverpool fans going, Nat Phillips sleeps with your daughter. You can't say anything about Liverpool. What are you talking about?
He's probably hoping that we sell him ASAP so he can go back.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I think he's preparing us to not getting many new signings. I don't think so. I feel like it's going to go like how Kazi is saying. Hopefully we'll do the 14th. June 14th is when the window opens. Yeah. Officially, hoping like within the first week or two, we get everybody that we're going to get. And then we kind of go from there, like you're saying, based on who we got, we figure out who we can afford to get rid of, and we start moving them out. I mean, I have to say, who he can start, by the way, so we'll get to that because as far as I do think 5 player changes for Sunday's game. Robo seems like in doubt, so we can see Costa starting. But I mean, he's probably like a top player that very easily replaceable with an English player for cheap.
Well, I mean,
especially
in terms of the thing, Alex, right? I know, Robertson counts as the homegrown, which is cool. But I brought this up yesterday about Robertson last night on the Thursday pod. Is it time to do the cash in? And the only reason why I say that because of this new formation that we're playing. Would you prefer a proper out and out centre half? Left-footed instead of the inverted Robertson centre-half role. Do you know what I mean? And it's because he is one where you go, I know he's homegrown, which really affects Liverpool. But if someone comes in for 40 million quid for him, 50 million quid and go 28, 29, you'd go, you know what, we need a centre-half who can play that role.
Will anybody even come with that, though? I know what you're saying, but that seems, what is his market value? So let me look at transfer market 40 over here meanwhile. But
I mean, I wouldn't accept any less than 40 million.
It says 48. I don't know if is anybody giving 48 for him, even Real. Like, and I don't know.
Is he the best left back in the league? Still? Top 2?
Yeah.
He is, yeah. Since he hasn't got a left back. He's better than Zinchenko. He's better than Kieran Tierney.
He's 29 though, dude.
Yeah, I mean, look at the clubs he'll go to. The Barcelona, who just
I guess they're like
Real Madrid and PSG. Do you know what I mean? And go and play with Mbappe and have a lovely time in Paris. Because again, I think if Liverpool are going to keep to this new formation change, you might need to get that left-sided centre half who can a proper centre half to do the role. Do you know what I mean? I brought it up last night as spitballing ideas kind of thing, but yeah.
So tomorrow's lineup, Alex. I know he kind of talked. Sir Z is not happy about that. See, Gomez definitely is not going anywhere. I don't think.
No,
definitely not. I mean, because can play right back, can play center back, and he is English. So Alex, tomorrow's lineup. Klopp was talking about. He's never been in this situation before because either we're winning a title or we're fighting for our life to get into the Champions League in the last week.
True.
Like 5 things to happen kind of deal. So this is kind of like, let's go out there and have some fun. And not to mention the other team is on the same boat. I would think they would want to at least go at home with a win kind of a thing. And it's more like a last game. Game is Sunday. Did I say Saturday? The Polish prince over here. I swear, Mr. Dingus in effect. Alex, give us a lineup prediction. What do you expect to see?
I don't see a single starter, to be honest, playing with you. I mean, there could be like a little sprinkle, but
sprinkle of what?
Like sprinkle maybe a couple starters, maybe Salah's on for a little bit. You probably see Nunez will be in there. Cody might play, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if Oxlade-Chamberlain's in there. Naby Keita, Joe Gomez is in there. You got, Kostas Tsimikas. You got Callagher. I think that's Thiago also. Nat, yeah. I
Thiago's injured, isn't he? He's
Thiago's injured, but the big man is playing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nat
Phillips.
really? You guys expect like a farewell tour?
Yeah, I think we're getting the Bamba together.
Do you guys want that, or do you guys expect that? Those are two different things.
Oh, it's what I want.
Okay, what do you expect?
I want Ricky Lambert, Sadio Mane, fucking Adam Lallana for a Southampton testimonial game. Just the last game in the league. It's the last game in the league. We took all your best players for a few years. Let's just give them a testimonial. But I expect Milner, Oxlade-Chamberlain. I even expect Arthur Melo. I even expect Gomez.
Get our money's worth from Mel.
I expect Carvalho to play. Costas to play. I think. There's two superstars which I'm thinking is Luis Diaz just for minutes because he looks like a player who needs minutes. Yeah. But the problem is this is not going to be a competitive game of football. That's the issue. It's basically again it's a testimonial. Southampton have got nothing to play for. They won't want to get out of second gear. They won't want to get embarrassed. If you want to come out and open up against Liverpool, we'll batter you. Yeah. And the other one is I think Salah's on 19 league goals, if I remember correctly. Which if you know Mo, of course he's going to go. I want one. Like I want me 20 because it's a big thing to say you got 20 league goals in it. So I can see that for Mo as well. But that's about it.
Sir Z says Keita's injured, hurt his wrist brushing his teeth.
Have you seen the video? I thought he
was going to hurt his back carrying that thing. Yeah, his hand. Oh, my hand.
Fucking get out my club, you little prick.
See, I honestly think it's going to be, you said like a sprinkle. I reversed it. I think the sprinkle is like these miscellaneous people. I can see Milner getting a start. Costas will be out there. But I don't think we're throwing like they'll come off the bench, I think, maybe like Ox and stuff like that. But I think we go like Mo, Gakpo, Diaz, or Mo, Nunez, Diaz, and stuff up top. I'm not saying we should, but at the same time, there's certain professionalism that has to come to it too. You got to go out there every game. He basically said like my best lineup kind of thing. So maybe he doesn't risk Nunez if he's not 100%. He puts Gakpo out there and he puts Carvalho in there afterwards and stuff. But I think we start with like 60-70% of the starters, and then just put.
I was hoping Mo sent that tweet from a private jet last night out of here. Like the managers went just go on holiday. Like just leave.
That's what Sparky said. Send them on early holidays.
Please. Like genuinely, I think when the second goal went in, they were on Sky scanning all the players. Yep.
Okay, 2 predictions I want. 1, Alex, let's start with you. Score prediction for this game, and then give me the teams that are getting relegated because that's a huge ordeal that we didn't get to. I know who Kazi is gonna pick and wants, but just don't say it, don't jinx it. But Alex, give us a score and give us who will.
Well, I think Liverpool wins 1-0. I'm going to keep my eye on this game, but I'm definitely going to be watching the Everton game this weekend. I think it's going to be an interesting weekend coming down to the relegation battle because remember, Leeds was in the relegation zone on the final day last year, and then they won, and then they stayed up. So I don't count Leeds out for the final day, and they're playing. Oh God, who are they playing?
They all play basically at home.
Spurs at home.
I think one of them plays West Ham, right?
Yeah, Leicester have got West Ham, who win in the European final.
Everton's got Bournemouth. Leeds got Tottenham.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Really, that can go either way. I mean, that could go Leeds' way very easily the way Tottenham is right now.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be watching those games. So I think Liverpool wins like 1-0 probably. Okay. But my relegation, well, obviously Southampton. I think, unfortunately, it's just too late for Leicester. And I say Everton.
Well done. Okay. If Leeds stay up, I'm walking around with this all day. Come on, my American brothers. Winston McKennie, Aronson. Come on, the Falcons, lads. Come on.
A true American Kazi has become. So, who do you have? Give me a score prediction and give me.
Liverpool will win 4-0. Oxlade-Chamberlain might play really well and probably score. And everyone will go, why aren't you keeping him? And you're like, fuck off. Because that's what you're going to get. Or Darwin Núñez will get 2, and you go, see, he has to start up front, even though they forget Cody Gakpo exists. So I will not be watching that game. I can't be bothered. I am watching Everton. Everton will get relegated.
Will you wear a Bournemouth jersey?
I will get Solanke's name tattooed on my ass if he sends them now.
Whoa.
Clip it.
Clip this.
I would just get the words Solanke tattooed on my ass if he sends that. But he's got to score the winner.
As American sponsor, we will fund this. Well.
Yeah, there you go. 100% I will do it. If he scores the winner, Solanke's name.
Don't be adding stuff now.
He's got to send them down. He has to be him sending them down just for me. But I mean, again, the only reason why I think Everton go down is not to do with the bitterness, but it's like they have no striker because Calvert-Lewin's injured again, and he's been their best player for a month. Onana's out.
Oh, he's hurt again?
Yeah, he's out for 6 weeks. Onana's injured. Ooh. He's their best midfielder. They haven't got a right back because Coleman and Patterson are injured, so they're probably going to play Mason Holgate right back. Michalenko is their only left back, and he's touch and go whether to play. Last game he played Dwight McNeil left back, who's his best attacker, but he might have to do it again. So they have no one I don't think you can score goals to them apart from set pieces of like Yerry Mina and stuff like that. They have no one who can score a goal, and I really think Leicester win because of the West Ham European game. Like he's not going to play anyone, you know. Yeah. Let's get it right. It's a massive, massive game for West Ham to win a trophy in Europe. It's humongous. Sure. So, and you couldn't handpick a better side to play at home if you're Leicester. Give me that team. We've got a cup final to worry about and the cash shit anyway. So let me play them. So I think Leicester win, and then that means Everton have to win. A draw will not be enough for Everton then, because Leicester will stay up on goal difference. Yes. So a draw wouldn't be enough. So Everton can't. And the one thing I would worry about, and trust me, I know Everton fans more than anything. If Leicester take the lead and they're drawing, that crowd will let them know and they will panic. And the one thing Everton shouldn't be able to do in this game, you cannot panic. Keep playing your football, they will not. Or if Bournemouth take an early lead, just expect riots. And I
can sense the excitement in your voice, by the way. It's like it's almost like you're talking about a Champions League final. You seem that excited about this game.
If Solanke gets the winner, honestly, what a player, by the way. What a striker. What a guy. Big Dom.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I did not know about all those injuries because I don't follow Everton's demise as closely as you do. But yeah.
I mentioned this last night. I have watched Leeds' last 10 games. Even Leeds fans haven't watched Leeds' last 10 games. So fuck you, Everton, for making me sit through that. Last week when they took the lead at West Ham, I'm sitting there going, oh my God. Oh my God.
That last-minute goal could be huge for them, that Everton score last week, if Leicester can't get across. But yeah, it should be. That is interesting to watch. But I mean, I'm still gonna watch our boys. I predict like a 4-1 win because I think it ends up being like a really open game. People kind of get like all relaxed and stuff, and we get some goals in. I'll go with the 4-1. And yeah, I'll go with my hearts and say Leeds, Everton, Southampton to go down because I think that's a very feasible scenario with Leicester winning and Everton not being able to win, even if they do not lose at home.
It's a great point that you bring up, by the way, as well. But the Leicester, because we mentioned it, he took a point at Newcastle. He played 5 at the back and went, "I'll take my point."
Yeah,
because I'm going to back Bournemouth. And that's really clever management, I think. Where everyone went, he had to win the game. And I think the managers kind of reevaluate, went, no, I can get a point and I will take Bournemouth getting something, you know what I mean, at Goodison Park. I think Everton have lost 10 there this season out of 18 and drawn 3 or something. They've only won like 4 times there this season, Everton. So it's like, that's what he's done. That's really clever management, in my opinion.
It's going to be an interesting weekend. Hope you guys enjoy it all and hope your dreams come true because you know what? I will be rooting for Solanke's hat trick over here and we will start collecting funds. I might personally fund this tattoo for myself just for entertainment purposes.
If he gets the winner and Everton get relegated, Solanke on my ass.
Done deal. Clip this, save this because it's going to happen. You guys all have a great weekend. We'll be back Monday morning with Mr. Dingus himself over here, the Polish Prince, and we'll do like a recap of how this weekend went and who stayed and who left and all that good stuff. Have a great weekend.